super chola.
My sister's a gangbanger today.
For today only.
But today, we have an interesting topic. We are going to discuss some of our favorites and least favorites when it comes to some of the houses we've rehabbed and she's designed. So what's number one on your list?
A favorite or least? Where are we starting with?
Go with least favorite.
Okay, I feel like this one's kind of obvious.
I feel like I'm going to know what you're going to say.
Lemon? Oh, were you thinking something else?
I was going to say that floating sink.
Oh, no, that's on my favorite list.
Well.
All right, obviously, but you didn't like it because it was hard to install. You didn't like it because of the look.
Right. The look was cool.
Okay. That's on my list is one of my favorite bathrooms because of its uniqueness.
Okay, I don't even remember the bathroom because I was so mad with the sink. I almost threw the sink out of the door of the front of the house because I had to take it on and off the wall like 10 times. And it was like getting to the point where I was like, the $500 sink is about to be like in pieces.
Wait, was it 500?
It was more than that. It was a lot of money.
We got it from Etsy. It was like a freestanding trough sink, and blue. We'll show a picture, and blue on the outside. I liked it because of the color.
Did we paint it or it came blue?
No, it came blue. That's probably Etsy.
Right.
Yeah. And it was just cool. The tile in the shower is this gray little small subway gray tile. It wasn't anything special, but something else I liked about that bathroom is remember we had that space and we did the built-ins.
Right.
I just liked it because it was a unique bathroom.
Little wooden shelves, right?
Yeah.
Was a chalkboard wall on there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we had the chalkboard wall. Chalkboard wall in a bathroom, which it'd be interesting to know how it held up over the years, or if they painted over it,
or if the sink is still hanging.
but I like that bath. It's on my list as one of the favorites because it was just different. It was unique and different, and I liked it.
It was all right.
Okay,
we disagree.
You hated the install, not the look.
Yes.
Okay, but I also put citrus. Has a few of my favorite things. Okay. So something else I really liked, and
Are we on bathrooms?
I think in general.
We're just jumping around. Okay.
Something else I really liked, and this would be something else to know how it's held up, is the flooring.
The wood?
Yes. So in that house, they had original hardwood floors that we stripped down, and we basically chose.
Wait, citrus?
No, not citrus. Sorry, Kramerwood.
Oh, yeah.
Kramerwood. We stripped down and we took like natural and we just put like a clear coat on it, basically.
It almost didn't look stained, right? Like there's variations of stain. I think we went with the most natural stain, even if we stained it. But it was a very blonde floor, if that's a term.
Yeah, I have
not blonde stupid, like blonde.
People are gonna come for you for that one. You can't say that stuff. You can't say that stuff. But it was just pretty. It was just like when you think of natural wood floors.
Wait, they say blondes have more fun, so maybe that cancels each other out. Okay, back to the floors.
You can't say stuff like that.
Okay.
They were just beautiful. And when you think of natural wood floors, you think of like browns, and it was just. To me, they popped, and they were. It was so cool to say these are the natural wood floors, and they looked the way they looked. Now, I would imagine they held up because I know we had to have stained.
They lasted.
And they were in
house
great
was like
condition.
60 years old. So if they lasted that long, I'm sure they're going to last another 50, 60 years.
Yeah, but that was something else I really loved about that house. And then lastly, I have Kramerwood on my list for the kitchen because of the unique cabinet color and because we did that wall floor, like counter to ceiling tile.
Yeah, the color and the pictures doesn't do it justice.
It doesn't.
Because our photographer overly saturated the color.
Yes.
So they look very bright blue, but they were not that color.
No, they were definitely more muted, a little darker.
Yeah. It was a good color. The floor plan and the layout of the kitchen was ideal. You had a very linear view through the dining area to the living room, And something we try and do in most of our homes is make it as open as possible
Yes.
while being functional. Because at the end of the day, she has kids, I don't. But we keep that in mind that if you're focused in the kitchen, you want to have almost a direct line of sight
Yes.
to communicate with kids or to other people, whether you're entertaining or you're just there with family. It just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And the house feels better.
Yeah, it was a smaller house, but it was a unique house, and I
Right.
just really, and we like, that's when we were doing, don't, no one hate on me for this one or be mad, but I'm so over the black and white. But this was like what
What did we do
8
black
years
and
ago
white?
we did the outside black and white. We like
Oh,
jumped
yeah,
on,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like now it's played out. But when we did it, it
was
wasn't.
good. It was good.
With a bright blue door. Like
Yeah.
it was just a cool house.
We had a what's that farm, like a farmhouse closet door? What's that
Oh yeah,
called?
you built
Yeah,
them.
we made one. This was the first house where we actually added value by building out. So we built out the master bedroom to incorporate a walk-in closet, a main bathroom, basically a main suite, and then we converted an area into a laundry room, which was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so you
So
had
we-
your indoor laundry too.
We reconfigured. This was the first big project we had that entailed like building out and getting plans and permits. It was cool.
It-
Like it.
I
Hated
just-
the sink. Hated the sink.
Okay, well that's one of my favorites. What are some of your favorites?
In that house?
No, in general of projects.
Like I'd say, citrus has got to be like
Citrus is on my list
that's
too.
my.
Yeah.
It was our biggest project and my most favorite project. Although now there's a few things I would have done differently.
Definitely.
But it was a very neutral house, which I wish I would have, or we could have spent more money on. But at the end of the day, it's a business we're trying to run, and business means making money. So if we just blew all our money, the house would look amazing, but we wouldn't. We would just be working for free. But we reconfigured this backyard to function way better than I think anyone imagined. I don't know how many tons of dirt we moved, but we must have easily moved 10 to 15 tons of dirt in order to create a step down sitting area for a fire pit and have a very not segregated backyard, but like a backyard that allows for various entertaining locations. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think you're explaining it right. And you know what? When you were explaining that idea, I had no clue what you were talking about.
No one did.
And now I feel like I see it so more often now that people are doing this like sunk in
Right.
seating lounge areas, especially in bigger yards that have pools and things. It's
Yeah.
like a separate chill area. But I do like, yeah, it basically allowed to have a separate space to enjoy. And
Right.
it was a really smart decision. It allowed garage access. It just
So we'll show you some pictures, but what we did was the access in the garage was kind of narrow, so allowing two cars to fit in was nearly impossible. And they had these bootleg steps leading out of the side of the garage, so you really technically couldn't park two cars there. So we eliminated that access and made the direct access off the back, thinking that if you had two cars parked in the garage, you can access right between the two and get directly to the backyard. But then your sitting area is right there, and you come up to the sitting area, you have another area directly off the master, which was kind of their private little patio if you wanted to. And then towards the kitchen, you had another area that was kind of dedicated to eating outside. So the way Alicia staged it was you could dine outside, you can sit outside by the master, and then you can have a fire pit or kick it down in that lower area.
little chill area.
That was like the best backyard. Like the space, we utilized that space like perfectly.
Yeah, because it wasn't big at all. And then
No.
something else to like touch on that was the giant bifold door that like
Right.
just you walked out of this giant
12 foot.
bifold door outside the master and into your yard, and it just created the space. The only thing that would have made it better is like if you're walking out of like a living space, in my opinion, because then you would have had that indoor outdoor because no one's kicking it in your bedroom, right? But it still was just it was
nice.
That was
it gave the illusion that master bedroom was infinite.
yeah.
Like it just you walked in and with the bifold open, it was expansive. Like it was awesome. And I found out recently that's one of the sharks from Shark Tank owns that house. So the house has since sold twice, and the current owner is
a shark.
Very well individual. So I was like, oh damn, one of our houses is
that's it, and
owned
that's
by
cool.
a shark from Shark Tank.
It's cool to know.
And that bathroom.
Well, that's on my list too. That, and you know, probably goes down as one of my favorite bathrooms that we've done. And I have to be honest, that was probably the scariest bathroom that I've ever designed, because I'm not a neutral person by nature. And it was a very neutral bathroom. And I don't know if you remember that the day I saw the floor tile in there, I panicked because I realized how close it was to the wall tile. Like they were so similar in color.
I thought they were gray.
The floors were gray, but they were a lighter gray. And then we did the Bedrosian's white has gray tones, right? They're not the same tile. Every tile is slightly different in color. And I was just like, whoa, this is a lot of the same, which was very scary to me. I started to panic, but I think adding the wood vanity and the wood vanity just brought in that warmth, having the freestanding tub, the zero transition shower, like everything. And we had to pivot, because remember, we were going to do 3 sconces and 2 mirrors, and something went south, and then we had to pivot last minute.
It was also a very odd shape. Like the way, I mean, most bathrooms are pretty cohesive when it comes to floor or planning. It's like you have your shower, your sink, your toilet, right? Like a 5x8 or a 5x10 linear bathroom. And I think if I remember correctly, this bathroom was like such a weird size, like a 10x11.5, like an almost perfect square. And trying to configure it into accommodating 2 sinks, a stand-up shower, and a what do you call it, a freestanding tub?
Yeah.
It was very difficult. So in order to make it work, we actually had to put the tub diagonally, but it worked perfect because the supply for the tub went directly in the corner. So the way this thing was positioned was completely out of the way, and it left for so much space.
Yeah.
Over this, and we were able to hide the toilet behind the door. So that's another key thing. Like when you're gonna position a bathroom near a bedroom, this is the way I see it. If I turn over in my bed, I don't want to be staring at a toilet, right?
Or someone sitting on the toilet if you live with someone who doesn't shut the door.
Yeah. So it's like if you could hide a toilet, hide a toilet. We couldn't hide it in its own individual closet, so it just went behind the door. So it worked out great.
It was a beautiful bathroom.
And we had a mixing valve that was pretty trick. So you could have a rainfall shower head or a wall mount shower head, either option or both at the same time. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. And we moved the valve to the I
was gonna say that was another smart thing we did. We moved it in a position that was easily accessible, and you didn't have to go all the way in the shower to utilize it. Yeah,
so code in California is you have to be able to reach in to turn the water on without getting wet. So if you ever are in a home and you have to reach in and you're getting wet, it's probably not up to code. So definitely keep that in mind. So we moved the valve over, which is not in line with the shower head. It was kind of off by itself, but it made for perfect access. We met code. It looked really good at the end of the day. And it's actually common. I think a lot of people are like, that's stupid. Why is it doesn't line up? But I think in a lot of modern homes, you'll notice that a mixing valve could be off to the side in order to give a cleaner look and just for functionality.
It's more convenient. It's just more convenient. Yeah. It's just easier. But citrus. I knew it was going to be tough.
It's just a Spanish house. You can't go wrong.
The cabinetry in the kitchen, the dark blue, the backsplash tile, the behind the stove.
Got a copper sink.
The copper sink in the bar. Yeah, the little arched niches.
Yeah.
It was just.
Everyone loved that house.
It was just a beautiful house. Okay, least favorite.
Least favorite house?
Yeah.
Victorville.
Oh well. It doesn't count, does it?
I mean,
I feel like Victorville was the definition of putting lipstick on a pig. Like,
I mean, what do you expect out of Victorville, right?
we just
I mean, if you live there,
I know. You're offending
you know.
blondes and people who live in Victorville.
Listen, everyone knows. Come on.
We literally painted it and put in laminate flooring.
Yeah, like
we
carpet.
painted the kitchen. We did not refinish the kitchen. We painted the cabinetry, which, you know, sometimes can cost more than actually replacing the cabinetry. Just a little tip. So look into it before you decide to paint your existing cabinets.
But least favorite?
I put lemon, but I just put because
I agree,
it was.
I didn't like the bathroom. That one we did this big bathroom.
It was just we wasted space.
Yeah, I wish I knew at the time. I wish I knew more at the time. Lemon was our first rehab. The first time she designed for me and my first rehab. We knocked the chimney down, which was probably a dumb move because it cost a lot of money. And I didn't make money on this rehab. I broke even. But the designer and architect, not my sister, the person who did the plans, did not tell me the bathroom was like 12 feet long. So it really bothered me that when you walk into the bathroom, you have to walk like 8 feet to get to the shower or the toilet. So it really wasn't a cohesive layout.
It just wasn't. We could have done just so many other things to make to utilize the space. The space, there was just a lot of empty space, and it just didn't make sense.
Right.
On top of that, I don't know if you remember, I picked that gray quartz. I feel like it had sparkles in it, for the kitchen.
Yeah.
It was like this gray quartz.
It's hideous.
If you were looking at rehabbed homes or if you designed your home 10 years ago, you know what I'm talking about. 10 or 11 years ago, it's like that gray quartz that had the little glitter speckles.
Shiny. She thought it was the coolest thing. That thing was ugly.
So bad. And not only that, but see, this is why you gain knowledge through experience, and then you learn from other people. At this time, I had only worked with, the same people who I had worked with, and I'm not trying to clown on them, but they only knew.
Clown on them.
They only knew what they knew and only taught me what they knew, and so I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. And I even put that gray quartz in both the bathrooms. And that green sea foam backsplash tile, which was not horrible.
Oh, it was like glass.
It was
the
glass.
Kitchen looked okay. It looked okay.
No,
it was a big kitchen.
The house showed well. It looked great. The house overall looked great, but there was just some things that we look back on and cringe about.
Right. And back to the size of that bathroom, you just wasted material, right? So keep this in mind if you guys are watching this and you're designing a bathroom. The bigger the bathroom, the more tile, the more lights, the more everything you're gonna need. So make the bathroom function to the space.
Yeah.
We just overdid it, and it just turned into a waste of space and a waste of material. But
I'm gonna take this opportunity to do a shameless plug, right? This is why you hire a designer. Even if you're just consulting, and listen,
consult my sister,
because Daniel too, sometimes I have to pull him in just because his knowledge of space is beyond mine. I'm your girl all day to pick out finishes.
Thanks. Appreciate the compliment.
This is why we're a good team.
Right.
But truly, I get it. You've seen enough design shows, you've seen enough on social media that you have a clear idea of what you want.
You're not a pro.
Yes, and you think you can do it. And I love that, because I think the reason we have succeeded and thrived is because we have a little bit of delusional confidence thinking we can do all things. So I love that confidence. However, just hire someone to consult with.
Yeah.
$300, $500, pay it. It's a small price to pay. I cannot tell you the number of times people hit me up on social media asking for help after the fact. And I'm like, you should have hired me. You should have called me. You should have paid my fee. And most times, if you know me, I would have given you a discount if we're homies. And you should have because now you're in a situation that you got to pay more money to fix it.
Right.
And it's I could have helped you avoid this if you just consulted. It's okay to ask for help.
We've also consulted with people and suggested they do this, and they deviate and don't do that.
And then they regret it.
So again, it goes down to function or fashion. Do you want it to really look good, or do you want it to work well? It's what it comes down to. And you can have a healthy balance. It's just at the end of the day, if you're really utilizing your home, it's got to work well. And it has to look good, but it just has to work.
Yeah, functionality.
Yeah, because then you're gonna be like, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that, and if you decide to change it, it's gonna get costly. So.
Yeah. I think
what else is on your list? Anything
I don't
else
know. I feel like we talked for a while on this one. Yeah, I mean, obviously citrus number 1, lemon and Victorville, the bottom of the barrel.
Meth house.
But like that just goes to show we're learning too. We're something I tell my kid every day: you don't lose, you learn. We're learning through our mistakes, and for the better for the next one.
Hopefully, you guys follow us along because I'm looking for the next project. And we're definitely going to document it. My sister's hoping to expand on her home. So we're going to document that project.
Yes.
And hopefully you guys pick up a thing or two.
Yes.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.